Welcome to my channel, Dr. Charlotta. What is the issue? I'm giving you part 3 of my book. The next character in my book is Devin. Me and Devin was in a 12-year relationship off and on. We were together 1 minute, we're not together. Devin could not find out what he wanted and who he wanted in life. And the streets really had Devin, had a hold of Devin. Devin would lie about different things, and we had a baby, and he said the baby was not none of his. So I ended up having to put my baby, our daughter, in my ex-husband's name, because in the state of Tennessee, if the daddy is not present, then you cannot put the baby in the daddy name. So, moving on from that situation, so my book talk about a lot of events that me and Devin went through. Devin would just, stand me up sometimes. Oh, I'll be over there. He never showed up. And he like, oh, I love you. But he showed me something different. Like, he loved his friends more than he loved me. He would rather be with his friends than be with me. And when I show up, Devin was like, wouldn't really treat me like I needed to be treated. And I put up with that for 12 years. He always picked other people over me, always choose other people over me. You just have to read the story because we have a 12-year history and a lot of events went down. For one event, I went over to Devin's house one night and he wouldn't open the door, so I tried to kick the door down. The door would not come down, so I knocked on the window. The window broke when I knocked on it. So in my mind, like, oh, I can get in through the window. So I go in through the window. Devin comes over like, nah, go through the door. I'm like, nah, you didn't let me through the door. I'm coming through the window. When I get in the house, Devin had a female in the house. I said, And he lied to me, said he was going to come back over to my house and see me. But my woman intuition kicked in. So I'm like, let me go see why he's not over here. So I go over and see, and sure enough, he had another woman over there. And, with Devin's experience, it taught me it don't matter how good you be to a man. It don't matter how pretty you are. None of that stuff matter. If they want to spend time with you, they're going to make time for you. If they don't, then they won't. So, you have to read the stories to the adventures that me and Devin took on that adventure. And, it's a lot. I went through a lot. And during that time, I finally decided to choose myself. I finally decided to go back to school to pursue my dreams as becoming a nurse. So in the meantime, I went to nursing school, LPN. I missed about 1/3 of a point. Had 12 and a half weeks left of becoming a nurse. And that night before I went and took my test, I remember asking God, if this is not for me, show me your plans for my life. I didn't expect for God to act that quick. And he acted quickly because the next day I was out of there. I fought to get back in there, but I was unsuccessful. You'll read about it in the book. And that's how I began my journey towards healthcare administration. I wasn't intending to go past a bachelor degree, but I found myself signing up to receive my master's degree. I didn't want to go for no doctoral degree. My kids, my daughter, like, Mom, you should go get your doctoral degree so we can call you doctor one day. I'm like, no, I'm done. But I found myself signing up to get my doctorate degree. So my education was a journey too. But this time, unlike when I was with Thaddeus and I and I quit school because I'm like, oh, to make him happy. This time I wasn't going to give up my dream for a man. But yeah, I kept Devin in my life for 12 years. And eventually one day, Devin moved. What broke me from Devin is when he moved back to Michigan. He moved back to Michigan. And at that time, I told him, it's best for you to go on with your life and I go on my life. So he gone on up there. He moved back up. He stayed up there for like 2 years. He come back down this way. And in 2019, he left in 2017. He came back in 2019. And all I asked him, he wanted to get working out with me. I'm like, I need you to first apologize for all the things that you did to me. He looked me in my eyes and smiled. He said, I ain't never did nothing to hurt you. With a smile on his face. And I'm like, I know I'm not. I said, you know what? You may not never apologize for what you did to me. I said, but you know and God know what you did to me. I said, the same tears that I shed over you, you're going to shed those same tears. And I went on to, I said, I was not wrong for addressing the issues that you did. I was wrong for how I handled the situation. So I apologize to Devin for over the 12 and a half years how I handled the situation between me and him. Because I acted stone fool. I didn't care. Wherever you at, we finna go ahead and act up right here. So I apologize for how I handled the situation, that I didn't handle the situation correctly. And I told him I would never bring up our past again. I would never bring up the hurt again. And I said, but we have to go on with our life. I didn't want you anymore. So 2019 was the last time that I had intimacy with Devin. After 2019, it was no more me and Devin. We continued to be friends, but that was it. It was nothing else going on between me. Because now I'm working on myself, saving myself for my husband, who God has designed for me. So I decided not to be in a relationship until God sent me the one. So fast forward to 2022. I'm talking about. I'm gonna sum up both of my last relationship up in this video right here. So fast forward to 2022, June of 2022. This guy came into my life. Ooh, excuse me. This guy came into my life. It was kind of odd how we met. Like, it was a lot of guys in the bunch. Like, he was not even the one I was looking at. I didn't have my eyes on him or nothing. I promise to God. This guy never entered into my mind. I wasn't looking for a relationship, first of all. And then it was like, some said, he's the one. I looked at him like, the one? And when he said that, because he was real hyper at first, his whole demeanor changed. And it's like, I'm like, that's weird. You know, like, he's the one. So he told me to put his name in my phone. I did that. He gave me a fake name. He said his name was Brian. That was not his name. I asked him, was he married or if he had a girlfriend? He said, no, he's not married. He don't have a girlfriend. But he said, I will tell you this. I'm in a toxic relationship, but I'm trying to get my way out of that relationship because I no longer want to be in a relationship. So that's what he told me. I'm like, well, you know, maybe, you know, some say he the one, so he trying to get out the relationship. I told him, well, we can be friends, but as long as you with that person, there's nothing going to go on between us. So time passed by, we talking, we communicating and everything, and I found myself falling for him. So I began to fall for him, and as I fall for him, I found out his real name. I found out that he has a wife and a girlfriend. So their relationship only lasts for 7 months. And I was not really able to walk away from the relationship because that man was good to me. Out of all of my relationships I had, that man was good to me. But he wasn't good for me because he had a wife, a girlfriend. He had too much going on. And I have high standards for myself. I would never allow myself again to date a man that has a wife and a girlfriend. And then you came and got me. Because if you don't value your wife, and then you stepping out on your wife with this woman and me, what can you possibly do for me? You cannot do anything for me. Somebody gonna be liking somewhere, and if I'm the third wheel, like, he only had the woman 3 months before he met me. So I guess his wife, he met her, he had her for 3 months. Then he came and wanted to drag me into his situation. I wasn't going. But please read my book. My book now has to come out in May instead of this month. And I will tell y'all more about that in the next video. Thank you. Have a blessed day. So that kind of sums up my book. But at the end of my book, I ended with a session talking about on the road to redemption. So I'm finally on the road to redemption. I'm finally choosing Jesus in my life, God in my life. So now I want to be locked in with Jesus now. And I don't want too much worry about a man anymore. Because God says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And all these things should be added unto you. So my main focus now is seeking God. I do not regret walking away from that relationship. I do not regret losing anything that was not meant for me. And anything, I mean, I didn't lose. Like, how can I lose something that's already committed to somebody else? Like, it was never meant for me. I just went with a voice that said he was the one, and I ran with what that voice told me. But what I should have did was seek God, because he said, test the spirit by the spirit. So that's all that I have for you about my book. Thank you. Have a blessed day.